Okay, this is a rant video for all you tree fuckers out there that like to fuck the trees to make more. What I don't like is, all you tree fuckers, you sit there and you say, oh, well, buy a Prius, buy a Prius, buy a Prius. You're saving the environment if you buy a Prius. Fuck you. It takes 5 to 6 times for those batteries in that hunk of shit to go back and forth from China to Japan, because each layer of the battery, be shipped to China. Oh, Japan, China, Japan. They can't finish it all in one turn because China has to do something, then Japan has to do something. China has to do something, then Japan has to do something. It's a back and forth fucking volleyball effect. And then the manufacturing process of it puts out more emissions than this Jeep ever will. Just one car puts out more emissions than this Jeep does in a year. Just the making of one vehicle. And, people say, oh, well, wind power, oh, solar power, oh, blah, 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 blah. Well, what about the manufacturing process to make all that shit, too? It still pollutes. No matter what you do, no matter how you do it, it still pollutes. And then people say, oh, well, let's shut all the factories down here, move them to China and Japan, and then import everything. You still have pollution. You have pollution over there, and then you have pollution from the ships burning the bunker fuel coming overseas. And you have the polluting of the water, the oil in the water, and the fuel in the air. And people say, well, who cares? Who cares? I talked to a guy on YouTube the other day through private message. He goes, well, who cares about that? That's over there. And I'm like, well, what I don't understand is, if it's over there and we're under the ozone in the atmosphere and all this, it's still going to affect us over here. It affects everybody in the world the same. And I was talking to a guy the other day, oh, well, we need to shut freight trains down and freight trucks. I'm like, if you shut a freight train down and a freight truck, America will stop. You won't get any food. You won't get any clothing. You won't get any water. You won't get any fuel. You won't get anything. You won't even get natural gas. And, just some of these people are just so fucking stupid. I don't understand how stupid 3/4 of America is. They should all be sent to Texas and electrocuted. Set in Old Sparky and just lit the fuck up. Because it's irritating now. You got all these assholes that are banding together, fucking these goddamn trees, that don't even know what the hell's going on. Just like not the other day, about a year ago, they had up in Santa Anita Canyon, which is up there behind that tree, they had these tree fuckers that were up in old oak trees that were getting replanted. And they're like, oh no, we need to do this, we need to do that. What they were doing was they were clearing the trees out to empty the dam of sediment, because the dam was building a sediment and the dam was about to burst. And what these people didn't understand was, you can transplant the trees. 3/4 of the patch of trees that they were bitching about were dead. I mean, dead. They were attacked by some sort of African Swahili beetle, and they were just being eaten alive. So, you can't save the trees that are dead. And they camped out in these fucking trees, and they camped out in all this bullshit, and they were protesting and protesting and protesting, And like 30 of them got arrested. And they are suing the sheriff's department because they got arrested. And it's like, number one, it's private property. You guys broke in on private property and you're protesting on private property, which is against the law. And the dam was going to burst. They estimated in 3 months that the dam would burst and wash the whole entire valley out. Cover the whole entire San Gabriel Valley in that area, Sierra Madre, Doherty and all that. That whole area in 10 feet of mud and debris and sand and sediment. And they didn't care. They wanted their rights and they wanted to save the trees. But, fuck the tree. If you're risking lives over a goddamn motherfucking tree, fuck you. Fuck you. You deserve to get arrested because of that. Nobody cares about your fucking precious dead fucking tree. It was dead. About 30 of the 45 trees that were there were dead. And they were old oak and walnut trees. Yes, I understand that. They're rare trees for this area. But the 15 that were still alive were transplanted. Okay? They're still in the area. You had no right to go up there and protest on somebody else's property. It's against the law. The guy told you to leave, and you didn't. You put tents down at the base of the trees. You handcuffed yourself to the trees. You climbed the trees. You went up in the trees, and you handcuffed yourself to the limbs. If it was me, I'd have cut the tree down. And if you died, fuck you. Fuck you. If you're that stupid to trespass on somebody's private property, then you get what you deserve. Just like the sign says. Trespassers will be shot, survivors will be shot again. You don't belong there. Just like my parents told me, if it's not your property, don't fucking touch it. Unless you're told otherwise. And like they said, a windmill takes as much energy, one entire windmill like they have up in Mojave, takes as much energy as it does to power a house. Sorry, my voice gets like that when I'm extremely pissed off and I'm ranting. It takes one windmill. To build one windmill, it takes enough energy from a coal-fired power station to supply 50 houses for a month. One windmill takes 50 houses a month of power from a coal-fired. That's how much emissions are in one windmill. But people say, oh, it's free energy, it's free energy, it's free energy. If it's free energy, why are we paying for it? Why do we have to pay for them to install the windmill? Why do we have to pay for the electricity from the windmill if it's free energy? And if Solar One is free energy from the sun, why are we paying Edison to get energy from it? You're sitting here telling me that it's all about this free energy, but when you get down to brass tacks and you get down to business, nothing is free. Nothing is free in life. So you guys need to get over yourselves and shove your head up your ass and sit down. Because you're wrong. And there's no such thing as better emissions and all this bullshit. You still have the same exact emissions with a Prius that you have with any other car. I'm sorry, but that's the fucking truth.